to get a glass.
No, no.
Oh,
Here
I
we
went
go.
to
We're
the glass.
live.
Hello, everyone. This is Reverend Jerry Hobby. I'm so happy to be with you today and happy Super Bowl Sunday. We're in the Winter Olympics. Oh my goodness, so many wonderful things are happening for us in this spiritual community and for the world. So today we're going to start off as usual with a sacred and a most powerful song. And that song is Welcoming Everyone Here by John Stringer. You are welcome here. Take it away, Amber.
There is a space in my heart where I find the truth. I find me in you, a truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. You are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Wise, allowing the hope, grace and let go. Trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in and out. Slowly feel all that's around you. All that you feel, all that you know. Let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. Oh, we unite. Yeah, yeah, when we unite. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are welcome here. Love is welcome here. Peace is welcome here. You are welcome here.
Wow, wasn't that something? How extraordinary. How extraordinary. You are welcome here. And so today we get to welcome everyone. We get to live in the light of love. And as we live in the light of love, we allow love to shine and love to be our sacred blessing. So, in that vein, right here, right now, I'm just inviting you all to just simply breathe as we get prepared. We got a little technology going, and I'm gonna move us over here. Let's see what happens. And let's see what happens. Oh, there we are. You get a chance to see me. Just little technical glitches. So, anyway, we have a wonderful program that's prepared today. And the thing that I want to say is I'm so grateful. And we're going to be talking about a little bit more about gratitude. I am so grateful. We moved through this week with ease and grace. And there's so much for us to welcome into the world. And the most important part of this welcoming is to be in a space where we unite in peace and harmony during this sacred season. So I want to just share a quick shout out, and I am dedicating this service to a new life in the world. One of our youth from many years ago had a baby this week, and the baby was born, and I woke up for morning meditation, and we dedicated the morning meditation to her. That meditation is actually medication for many of us that are moving through something in the process of healing. Her name is Briella, and so we are sending her love, and we're sending her peace and harmony. So with that in mind, I'm going to bring forth our wonderful practitioners today. We have Reverend Larry Hobby, our practitioner emeritus, the griot here in our community. He is going to share a sacred reading. And then we're bringing forth practitioner Sandy. This is her new brand. And so we're going to call her practitioner Sandy from now on. Take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Or, like an old friend used to say, top of the morning to you. But anyway, my reading this morning is from Ernest Holmes 365. I see the divine presence in all others. And from Psalms 133:1, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. The best way to make friends is to realize that we meet life in everyone. The God in us meets the God in others. Proclaiming the divine presence, believing in it, we shall meet it. Love will find a perfect way. Our faith in the divine presence in others will overcome the fear of being misunderstood or hurt. If the mind is calm and serene, there will be less liability toward pain. Therefore, at all times, we should be serene and poised. Confidence and love alone cast out fear. The person without fear is the only truly whole person. It is ours to decide whether we shall live in fear or in faith. Let us decide to live in faith. Let us learn to practice faith until all fear disappears, until life ceases to be a funeral dirge and become a song of joy. To find peace in the midst of confusion, we must realize our center in pure spirit. To reach this place of confidence and faith in the midst of doubt and uncertainty, we should consciously unite our thought with the divine mind. I know that God is within me. I know that the spirit within me is perfect. I enter into its peace and I am secure in its protection. The unerring judgment of divine intelligence directs my way. The presence of love uplifts me and lights my life today. And in honor of the season for nonviolence, I have a quote from Ernest Holmes. Faith is a conviction so deep that it becomes a way of life. Faith embodied in daily practice. All right. Practitioner Sandy.
Good morning, everyone. I want to begin this morning with a brief poem by Christina Rossetti, who was born in 1730, and she wrote this little poem when she was still a child, and she was one of the most important poets in England during the Victorian age. And this little poem reflects quality of faith, something you can't see, but you can feel it and you can see it as it manifests in the world around you, the results that come from it when you hold yourself in faith and you let it rise within you and you nurture it. So here's a brief poem by Christina Rossetti. Who has seen the wind? Neither you nor I. But when the leaves hang trembling, the wind is passing by. Who has seen the wind? Neither I nor you. When the trees bow down their heads, the wind is passing through. And so it is with faith. You can't see it, but you can feel it and you can observe the impact and the effects that it has on your life. And this is the way of spirit. Spirit is all these qualities: faith, love, peace, joy, manifestation. It is the action of itself within each of us, within ourselves, and upon the conditions in our lives, in us, as us, through us. And so I'm created and made from this spirit. This spirit made me in its own image and likeness. I'm a version of itself, and we all are. This is true for every person here and every person everywhere. And so I speak my word into Spirit's divine law of love. And I know this is a perfect day, a perfect service, and optimizing all the conditions in the lives of everyone here and everyone everywhere. Faith is what pushes it forward, drives it through. Faith is what allows it to flow freely into betterment and optimization in every life in the world, everywhere. And so I acknowledge this service, all the people who support it, the technology, Reverend Jerry, Reverend Larry, all the practitioners, all the people listening here, their pets, everything, everyone, every form of life. And I know that this is a perfect day, a day of deep breathing, of the Spirit expanding consistently, constantly within each of us, nurturing the faith that we all are, that we all have, that we all can feel and see the effects of, even if we can't see faith itself. And if there's anything that I haven't said, I know that Spirit knows the rest and is making it happen right now, fully, completely, joyously. Oh, I am so thankful. I am thankful, relaxed, and confident in Spirit's presence in my life, in our lives. I'm thankful. And so I give this back to Spirit to be about its divine right action in all of us in all the conditions of our lives. Please say along with me, and so it is, and now it is.
And so it is, and now it is.
Now it is.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, this prayer is going to show up. I want you to know a little bit later. It will be posted because we're celebrating a season for nonviolence. And our contribution to the season is the contribution of the practice of love and bringing light through prayers into the world. So if you are not on our e-blast list, please send us a note letting us know you want to be on the e-blast list, and prayers are delivered daily to you during the season for nonviolence. And it features all of our ecclesiastical team. That includes the practitioners, the ministers that are in sacred service to this community. So thank you, Sandy, for that wonderful prayer. We're so blessed. And now we have something special we want to share with you, because we have the spoken word and then we have the musical invocation. And we're in a special, this is a special treat, because we're going to allow music to enlighten us. And we're going to also hear from two of my favorite songwriters in the whole wide world. And that is Jan Garrett and J.D. Martin. And they're going to share about a particular song, the song This Belongs to You. Take it away, Amber.
Hi, and welcome back. We are really delighted to do this next song for you, because it's one of those, it's a timely song.
Timeless.
And it's timeless,
That's
you
right.
know.
Yeah.
We wrote this song with Esther Nicholson. And I will just say that she came to our house because she was putting together songs for a new album. And as we were talking, she came up with this story. And she said, I don't know whether this is a true story or whether it's an urban legend. Actually, she said, I don't know whether this is factual. But once we heard the story, we were like, I don't care if it's an actual fact that can be documented. It is a true story. And it's all about generosity of spirit and remembering who we really are and what we came here to do, and allowing others to do the same.
I just want to say that we are going to use a track that we recorded for this song, and one reason why I'm just going to not play anything on this one is I want you to hear the beautiful string arrangement that was done by Derek Nakamoto. He's an incredible arranger. He did all the songs on your Gypsy Midwife album.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
So we're so glad to be able to have him be part of this today.
Right. As a matter of fact, as I recall, we were like, do you think we can afford it? It was very expensive. You know, he got people from the, is it the LA Philharmonic, or what is it?
I don't know. But
anyway, to come into the studio to do this. And so we decided, we gave this to each other for our anniversary one year, as I recall.
And year after year.
Hopefully
after
it's worth it. So anyway, again, from our hearts, I believe this belongs to you. I once heard a powerful story about a man who stood in his truth with such conviction in who he was that he would not be moved. Someone stepped out of a crowd and said, "Are you Martin Luther King?" He said, "Yes, I am." And the well-dressed man spit on him. Then King took out his handkerchief and wiped the hate from his suit. He gave it back to the man and said, "I believe this belongs to you. I will lift you up and do what I can do. See your heart and I know your pain. I have been there too. I will hold you high while you once had a powerful story I used to carry around. I thought it was you all this time. I held my spirit down, but now I know the truth of who I came here to be. You are my angel in disguise, not my enemy. So I thank you for the part you've played in this dance we've had to do. I give you back your own true love. I believe it belongs to you. I will lift you up and do what I can do. I know your heart and I can feel your pain. I have been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. I give you back your freedom now. I believe it belongs to you. Sing with us. I will lift you up and do what I can do. I know your heart and I see your pain. I have been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. I am clear as you're standing here. I believe this belongs to you. I give you back your own true love. I believe it belongs to you.
Wow, wasn't that wonderful? How touching, a wonderful way to just enter into the space today, to just be in a space of unconditional love. And so now we get to celebrate in a wonderful way, because what we've decided is on our Sundays when we have our soul manifestations, this is when our practitioners share with us what they do in terms of supporting themselves with spiritual practices. So we've given everyone the themes for each month based on the 12 powers, because we're celebrating those 12 powers or 12 principles that Charles Fillmore made very, very popular. They originated with Emma Curtis Hopkins. So today we have the honor of approaching it and dealing with strength. So that's the reason I'm dressed in green. And we have the blessing of hearing from practitioner emeritus, Jim Thompson. Take it away, Amber.
We activate the power of strength. Spring green, the ability to endure, stay the course, and persevere. We affirm we have the strength to accomplish all that is ours to do. And so it is.
Thompson, I'm one of your practitioners here with Spiritual Enlightenment Truth Focused Ministries. And today I'd like to talk to you about strength. And it's in reference to Charles Fillmore's book here. And he says the strong man, fully armed, referred to by Jesus is the strength and stability in man. In the physical man, he is manifest as physical strength. But in the regeneration, he is overcome and his possessions are divided or given to the other faculties as a nucleus around which the higher forces gather. The stronger than he who takes away the whole armor in which the strong man trusted is spiritual strength. The overcoming of Goliath by David illustrates a mastery of the spiritual over the material. Goliath trusted in his armor, which represents the protective power of matter and material conditions. David, spiritual strength, had no armor, no material protection. David's power was gained by trust and divine intelligence, through which he saw the weak place in Goliath's armor. Direct to this place, with the sling of his concentration and will, he sent a thought that shattered the forehead of the giant. This incident shows how easy it is to overcome the seemingly strong personal and material conditions when the mind of spirit is brought into action. David was sure of himself because he had slain the lion and that had killed his sheep. The lion is the beast in man. When overcome, or rather transmuted to finer energy, the lion becomes a mighty soul strength. The life of Samson, as set forth in the Judges, shows the different movements of strength in human consciousness and its betrayal and end. Samson did all kinds of athletic stunts, but was finally robbed of his strength by Delilah, a Philistine woman who had his head shaved while he slept on her knees. Hair represents vitality. When the vital principle is taken away, the strength goes with it. The body is weakened by this devitalization and finally perishes. Eve took away the strength of Adam in like manner, and every man who gives up the vital essence of his body for the pleasure of sensation blindly pulls down the pillar of his temple, as did Samson. Supreme strength, as demonstrated by Jesus, can be attained by one who trusts in spirit and conserves his vital substance. The strength of spirit is necessary to the perpetuation of soul and body and the overcoming of death. For there are eunuchs that were so born from their mother's womb, and there are eunuchs that were made eunuchs by men. And these are eunuchs that made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. The body has many brain and nerve centers through which the mind acts. And so as a practice, Reverend Jerry often talks about breathing, and I think that's I know that is a perfect exercise for us to exercise when you find yourself in moments where you feel like you're not good enough or not big enough. Just remember, it's that internal strength, that divine idea that you know is within yourself. Accept it, move in it, live it, and breathe. Breathe. Simply breathe. Sometimes just being quiet will bring that inner strength back. And if nothing else, it'll bring calm and peace to your body temple. Namaste.
And there we are. We are working with strength. So here we are, beloved community, and I want to welcome you. I'm so glad that we are here this month and we are exploring a powerful thing. Today we are focusing on embracing the edge. And today's Power Talk is entitled Walking the Edge of Life. And our guiding question is this: what does it look like to live my truth when it feels risky and uncomfortable? So I just want you to breathe that in, because spiritual living is not all about or only about insight. It is about expression. It is about visibility, and it is about what we do with what we know. So this weekend, many things are visible in our collective awareness. It's Super Bowl Sunday, where preparation, discipline, teamwork, and courage meets the public stage. We get an opportunity to watch that, to learn and collect the wisdom from that experience. And then we have the Winter Olympics, which are underway, where athletes push beyond their comfort, risking failure and trusting practice and stepping on the edge of their capacity. And at the same time, we're in a season for nonviolence, honoring the life work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Mahatma Gandhi, and so many others who taught that nonviolence is not passivity. It is the discipline of love in action. And all of these meet us right here today. So our theme is an important thing because the edge of where our inner convictions, we're at that point where the edge of our inner convictions become our outer courage. So I love our practitioner Sandy's prayer because it was focused on faith. And when we talk about faith, we're talking about courage. So Howard Thurman writes this. He says, in a world-shattering disclosure that the stream of life is a single stream, out of such an experience, a new perspective emerges. Consciously now, the primary function of life becomes that of achieving in act what one has experienced in insight. So this is where we get to experience the inner and the outer. Ernest Holmes reminds us that we are inlets and outlets of God. So Thurman reminds us that insight is not the end of the journey. Insight is only the beginning. The spiritual life is not meant to stay hidden inside of us. It is meant to be achieved in the deeds, and that is the edge. We get to walk in spirit. I see Dr. Liza here, and she has one of her favorite songs is Walking with God. Maybe we'll hear that in a few weeks. So, Science of Mind teaches us that thought is creative, but not just thought held quietly. Ernest Holmes says, to learn how to think is to learn how to live. If one thinks correctly and becomes a living embodiment of their thoughts, this is not done by holding thought, but knowing the truth. That knowing the truth is just allowing ourselves to walk and to embody the truth. So notice that phrase, living embodiment. Trust must move. Truth must move, and truth must show up. Truth must be lived. And Holmes also reminds us that what the world needs is spiritual conviction, followed by spiritual experience. It is far easier to teach the truth than it is to practice the truth. And for me, practicing the truth is being loyal to the principles that we're espousing. We're walking in the truth. Walking the edge of life means we stop waiting to feel completely ready, and we begin to practice anyway. So this is what life is all about. That's the reason our ministry is focused on spiritual practice. We often say there is value in spiritual practice, and that value shows up when we show up again and again and again. In actuality, we are flexing our spiritual muscle. And I'm going to say that for me, that presence of spirit, it is everywhere, in everything. So we get a chance to allow for it to show up. And in that allowing, we will discover it meets us right where we're at. I had the most wonderful experience. I get an opportunity to coach. I have a group of youth that are participating in what we call a leadership academy. The purpose of the leadership academy is for us to support these young people in terms of growing, in terms of their spiritual essence. It is part of our Celebrating Our Soul conference program, and they will be participating, actively supporting the Celebrating Our Soul conference in many rich and wonderful ways. One of the things that I always like to do is allow them to flex their muscle. And in the flexing of their muscles, we engage in prayer. And I have one young man, he always talks about the Christ Spirit, honoring the Christ Spirit. When we honor the Christ Spirit, we are honoring a pattern of newness, a pattern that's been around since the beginning of time. It is the pattern of truth. This is what we're talking about when we talk about walking the edge. So Adrienne Marie Brown names this beautifully. And this is what Adrienne has to say. To break one's own pattern down, to surrender into not knowing, is miraculous work that requires strength, repetition, and practice. So discomfort is not a failure. It is often the doorway. Just like athletes, activists, and peacemakers, growth happens at the edge of what we already know and how we do it. As a matter of fact, we're standing on the wings of what many of these wonderful people have done and paved the way for us. Living our truth will eventually make us uncomfortable. Okay? But what that means is speaking up when silence feels safer, advocating for good for us all in the world, holding compassion when cynicism would be easier, or practicing nonviolence when anger feels justified. So to stand in that place and to be in a space of unconditional love in the face of anger and aggression, to be in that space and behold the truth and see the power and the presence of God. To be in the space when people tell us that the world is crazy and a lot of things are happening, but to overcome the cynicism and to speak truth. We are being called, as one of my favorite people was, Viktor Frankl. When he was in the most difficult place, he was in prison, in a concentration camp. He says, when I get out of here, I'm going to teach people about love. And when he made that declaration, the universe heard. And he got an opportunity to begin for those people that seem to be his persecutor. Because when we hurt, we harm someone else, we end up hurting and harming ourselves. They came to him for that being the place and the space of comfort. So I'm going to say love is truly the answer. Dr. King taught us that nonviolence is not weakness. It is courage refined by love. Nonviolence asks us, can I refuse to dehumanize even when I disagree? Can I refuse to dehumanize? Sometimes people want to give as much as they got. That's the reason Howard Thurman talked about the power of love. And he says, I want to be more loving in my heart. And ask yourself, can I see good where it isn't obvious? This week I had an opportunity to talk with a family member, and they were talking, and I could see the state of consciousness this person was in. I called to, we had a loved one in our family that made their transition, and I called the immediate family just to check in. And of course, they were a little down, and there were some things they were sharing. And bringing light and bringing consciousness is the most important thing. So the inner work we do supports us in showing up in the world and being a beneficial presence. And that is an important part. And then the final thing is we ask ourselves, can I act from my values when fear wants to lead? That's the reason we're bringing in those 12 powers. That's the reason we've asked our spiritual resource, our practitioners, to speak of it when we talk about sowing seeds for living. That is the reason we're asking for that. This is what walking the edge is about. We get an opportunity to see God and to find God in all things. When we look for God, we are looking towards good. We're seeing good where it isn't always obvious. Ernest Holmes challenges us directly, and he says, refuse to see the negative side of anyone. Know that everyone wants to have the best. And we get to anchor that and know that even when they're unable to know it for themselves. I'm remembering on my sacred journey as a brand new practitioner, flexing these muscles. And in the flexing of these muscles, there were times when I would go. I was so grateful that my husband and I were on a similar journey. So we had gone through and did this classwork. As a matter of fact, he was the one who introduced me to these teachings. And I'm so grateful that we got to flex the muscle as a couple, the two or more, and allowing that energy to expand and grow itself. So when I was moving through what I was moving through, there were times, and even as a brand new practitioner, I'd go and I said, I need you to know the truth for me, to know the truth about me. So I want to speak to this, and this is a very important part. Moving in partnership is an important part. I want to say to every single person here in this community, this is part of your partnership, being a part of spiritual enlightenment and truth-focused ministry, where we get to behold the truth and we know the truth about each and every one of you. Everyone that's ever been a part of this community is always held in the space of endearment, of love. We always do that. And for those that are getting ready to come forward, we're open and receptive, and we're doing the same thing. We're beholding the Christ, the Spirit of the Christ within everyone. And what we know about the Spirit of the Christ is that love is the center and the circumference of it all. So this is not denial. We don't walk around with our heads stuck in the sand. I want us to remember that. But it is discipline. We get a chance to practice discipline. And if you go through the course of history, I love studying history, whether it was during the 1400th or different eras, the practice of discipline is the most important part. It takes effort to hold goodness in view when the world feels loud, divided, and reactive. Just like athletes train for moments the world will see, we train inwardly for moments for the world will feel the truth and behold the truth. One of the movies that keep populating in my thoughts, and I looked it up, and we're going to have to figure out a way for us as a collective community to look at this together. It's called Dark Crystal. It was a movie that was created by Jim Henson, and it is important for us to understand the power of the light that we bring together collectively. So, crossing from belief into visibility is an important part. There is an edge between the private belief and our public action. Many of us are comfortable with spiritual ideas, but hesitate to let them shape our behavior when it costs us something. Howard Thurman says, name this crossing when we say that human need is the swing door into another spirit. We get to be the spring door. Viktor Frankl was the spring door for the person who was persecuting when there was a safe space when they needed to relieve themselves of the pressures. Okay? Every interaction becomes an opportunity for truth to move. Faith does not end at belief. Faith is the beginning when it becomes visible. And it is important for us to remember that. So, the Super Bowl doesn't happen without training. I want us to remember that. The Olympics don't happen without repetition. No one stumbles accidentally into excellence. The same is true spiritually. Walking the edge of life means we practice. We practice right thinking. We practice right speaking. We practice right action. Not perfectly, we practice it faithfully. And the more that we practice it faithfully, what we do is we expand that container. I want you to remember that being a part of this, we are being called to be pioneers. And being pioneers, what it means is we walk the edge. We affirm that the world is round. We don't affirm that it's flat. We affirm that it is round. So this month we were blessed by our practitioner, Jim Thompson, and his offering and sowing seeds of the Spirit, because we get to remember that spiritual practice is not about perfection, but it is about showing up aligned. And that showing up aligned is honoring the Spirit and strengthening that muscle. Practice is how we strengthen ourselves for the edge. And that's the most important part of this experience. So I'm going to close with a very special story. And I'm going to entitle this story, Goodness Made Visible. Because we're being called to make visible goodness. Everyone in the town knew Amos for how he showed up. When Mrs. Calder's basement flooded at 2 a.m., Amos showed up in rubber boots and a flickering flashlight. He pumped water until dawn without saying a word about sacrifice or service. And when she tried to pay him, he waved it off and asked if she'd eaten breakfast. When the new cashier at the market rang up a customer wrong and started to cry, Amos waited quietly in line while the others groaned. He told a bad joke, so bad it looped back around to funny. The line seemed to move faster after that. Someone once said, Amos, they asked why Amos was the way he was. He shrugged and said, truth leaks out. Might as well make sure it leaks in the right direction. Amos never claimed to be extraordinary, but when he left a room, it felt steadier, kinder, like something invisible had been put back where it belonged. The people of the small town knew that they were witnessing goodness in action, loving people when no one was watching, goodness made visible. That is walking the edge. I'm going to invite you to walk the edge. I was looking, I don't see it. My desk is full with a lot of activity. I have a special little postcard I developed years ago, and it was from a poster that was given to me when I was doing youth ministry. People used to bring me the most interesting things. But this basically asks, how do you live your life when no one is listening, when no one is watching? I want you to be present in terms of how you practice. When those things get to you, can you go to your usual, or can you go beyond the usual to the center of truth and practice truth? When things seem to be annoying, stalled, being in that place of uplift. So this week, I want to talk and I want us to engage in spiritual practice. Amber's going to put our spiritual practice for the week up. And I like spiritual practice, the call to spiritual practice, because it leads to action. So this week, we're going to ask you to begin each day in gratitude. Not rushed gratitude, not performative gratitude, but real, authentic, genuine gratitude. And I want you to ask yourself, where am I being invited to show up more fully? And it may be in places where it feels uncomfortable. Where am I? Where can I practice love when it feels inconvenient? How can we practice love when it feels inconvenient? When people say some things that are not so kind or nice or misunderstand you, how can you? And where is life asking me to cross from belief into visibility? And we return often to this phrase. And my prayer is that we all make this our mantra. And now our minds are one. And now our minds are one. So I'm going to invite you right now. Let's move into our Affer incantation. And as we move into our Affer incantation, I'm going to invite you to breathe. I'm going to invite you to repeat after me. And as you're repeating after me, I'm just going to invite you to just place your hand over your throat and heart space in that region there. I want you to feel that. Matter of fact, while we're waiting for it to come up, I invite you to just begin to do the tapping. Tapping right there. Do you see me tapping? I'm inviting you to tap there. Do you know that tapping makes a difference in your life? We're talking about spiritual practice. That tapping helps you to strengthen your immune system. It strengthens the movement of energy within your body. So the more that we tap periodically, take a moment and tap, it makes a difference. This is part of how I got here to where I'm at, speaking with you at this very moment. This is being in gratitude for the things that we take for granted. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move into the Affer incantation, and here it comes. There we are. So I invite you to unmute. I want the world to hear, and I want us to influence the chatter. When you go to sleep tonight, I want you to dream this Affer incantation. Okay, so here we are. I choose right effort.
I choose right
I
effort.
choose right
I
effort.
choose right effort.
I am mindful of my thoughts, my words, and my actions.
I am
I'm
mindful
mindful
of my
of my
words
words,
and
my
my
actions.
my
actions.
thoughts.
I release the illusion of separateness.
Release
I
the
I release
illusion
the
of
Release the
illusion
separateness.
illusion
of
of
separateness.
of
separateness.
separateness.
I remember that my life affects all life.
My
I
My
life
life
remember that
Remember
my
that
life
my life
affects
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 all
all life.
life.
all life.
I act with compassion, courage, and care.
I
I
I
act
act
with
with
act with
compassion,
compassion,
passion,
courage,
courage,
and
courage,
and
care.
and
care.
care.
Co-create with spirit for the good of all.
I co-create
I co-create
with
co-create
all.
spirit
spirit
for the
for the
good of
good
all.
of
Good
all.
Now our minds are one.
Now our
Now our
minds are
minds
one.
are one.
Now our minds are one.
Right effort. I choose right effort.
I choose right
I
effort.
choose
Choose
right
right
effort.
effort.
I am
I
mindful of
choose
my
right effort.
thoughts,
I'm
I
mindful
am
of my
mindful
My
thoughts,
of my
thoughts,
thoughts,
I am mindful of my thoughts,
my words,
my
my
words,
my
words,
words, and my
Words
actions.
and
and
action.
my
and
actions.
and my
actions.
and my
actions.
actions.
I release the illusion of separateness.
I
I
I
Release the
release
The
illusion
the
of
illusion
illusion
of
of
separateness.
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 I remember that life affects all.
I
I
remember
I
life
remember
I
remember
life
that
remember
affects
life
that my
all.
all.
life
affects
affects
all.
all life.
There you go. I act with compassion,
I
courage.
I
act
Act
with
with
act
compassion.
compassion.
Act
with
with
I act
compassion.
with
passion,
compassion,
courage,
courage, and care.
and care.
I co-create with spirit for the good of all.
I
I
co-create with
Co-create
co-create
with
with
Spirit
spirit
for the
spirit
spirit
good of
for the
all.
Spirit for
good
the
of
good
all.
of all.
Now our minds are one.
Now
Now
our
our
Now
minds
our
minds
are
are
minds are
one.
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 I choose right effort.
I
Choose
I
right
choose
choose
right
right
effort.
Choose
effort.
effort.
right
Right effort.
effort.
I am mindful of my thoughts, my words, and my actions.
I am mindful
I
of
I
my
am
am
thoughts,
mindful
mindful
of
of
Mindful
my
of my
my
thoughts,
my
words
my
words,
and
words,
my thoughts,
and
actions.
my
and
actions.
actions.
I release the illusion of separateness.
I release the
I
I
illusion of
release
release
the
I
the
separateness.
illusion of
release
illusion
the
separateness.
of
illusion of
separateness.
separateness.
I remember my life affects all life.
I
I
remember
I
my life
remember my
remember
affects
life
that my
affects
all
life
life.
all
affects
life.
all life.
I act with compassion, courage, and care.
I
I
act
I
act
with
with
act with
compassion,
compassion,
courage
courage,
courage,
and
and
care.
prayer.
and care.
I co-create with spirit for the good of all.
I
I
co-create
I
I
with spirit for the
co-create
co-create
good
with
of
spirit
all.
for
spirit
the
for the
good of
good
all.
of all.
all.
Now our minds are one.
Now our
Now
Now
our
our
minds
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 Minds are
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 one.
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 So I just invite you to breathe those things in now. And beloved community, walking the edge of life is not about reckless leaps. I want you to keep that in mind. It is about courageous steps,
She gonna start
intentional
coughing again.
steps. It's about letting truth leak out through kindness, through courage, through presence. Maybe may we live our truth even when it stretches us. And may we practice nonviolence as the discipline, and this is the most important part, as the discipline of love. I've been doing this many, many years, and that love is the key. And may we make goodness, and this is the key factor, make goodness visible in ways large and small. The smallest and subtle things make the difference. It can be the soother, it can be the medicine within a person's experience, within their state of being. It could be a lifesaver. I just want us to keep that in mind. And may our lives leave every room steadier, kinder, because we are all there. And when we do that, we begin to be the healing presence in the world. Now, I'm going to say this here right now from the heart before we move any further. And that is, the world is in need of each and every one of you. If you are hearing my words right now, that means the world needs you. And it needs you to live this practice and to be a beneficial presence in the world. This is how we are able to build the velocity that practitioner Sandy is speaking of. This is part of how we lift the vibration of this planet that Reverend Dr. Renee Hart talks about. This is part of how we heal. This is how we practice being inlets and outlets of God, as Ernest Holmes would say. So with that in mind right now, I'm going to invite us to listen to this song. It's one of my favorite songs Rise up, because the universe is calling us to rise up. I'm dedicating it to the Super Bowl teams right now. I am dedicating this to all the Olympic athletes, and I'm dedicating it to the entire world, knowing love for all of us. So while we're doing that, I want you to be intentional today. And being intentional is placing in that chat all the things we need to know the truth about. Take it away, Amber.
You're broken down and tired and living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't fight the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' work it out and move. Rise up, rise like the day will rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, rise like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it's feeling like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like crying, but I promise you we'll bring the world to its feet and move mountains. We'll bring it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you. I'll do it for you, yeah. All we need is hope, and for that we've got each other. Yes, for that we've got each other. We will rise, we will rise, we will rise, we will rise up. High like the waves, rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times. We'll rise up, high like the waves. We'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise, we will rise for you, for you, for you. We'll do it for you, I'll rise, we'll do it 1,000 times.
I'm inviting you right now to breathe with me as we move into that sacred space. That's such a beautiful song, to rise. And I love those words, I'll do it 1,000 times. And that was such a wonderful intro in terms of our prayer. And I'm in a place of reflection and gratitude for a young lady. I don't believe Karaya is, maybe she's 14 years old. I hope you guys get a chance to come into our virtual summit on the 21st, just to hear the wisdom of Spirit working through her. But she introduced this quote to me. It comes from Lisa Nichols, and it says, self-enrichment is that act of creating 1,000 micro wins so that you can have the one macro win. I want you to breathe those words in this morning. We rise up 1,000 times. We move into this place of sacred awareness where we allow for love to express itself, where we allow for the wisdom of the infinite to expand itself. And we recognize it. So in this very moment, right here and right now, I am recognizing the presence of the infinite, knowing that that presence is everywhere in everything. I'm acknowledging the omni-action of the divine. Just like we have the omnidirectional mics, I know that our spoken word is omnidirectional. And in the omni, I know there is the vibration of the sacred Om. 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 And I simply know that that Om is powerful. That Om is divine light. That Om is the divine element moving and expressing itself, and that the Om is the vibrational energy within, through, around. It is the divine radiance in the body. Each and one of our personal bodies. Every time I say the word Om, I know that something is vibrationally moving and expressing itself in action. It's aligning itself. It is the infinite, expressing and overflowing. It is that divine source of perfect good. So I just invite you to breathe right now as we honor that presence, as we allow for this presence to continue to fulfill itself, refine itself, overflow in itself. We simply remember that it is the Christ Spirit, a new pattern, fulfilling and birthing itself. We acknowledge it as the opening of doors for the pathway of the infinite. I'm acknowledging it right now as the neuroplasty of God, that vibrational frequency unfolding and expressing itself. I'm acknowledging it as the wisdom of the ages and the discovery, just like there was this discovery of something that always existed, the electricity. But what I'm knowing is there is an electrical current that is alive within each and every one of us. And that everything we come into contact with is the divine presence. But what I'm knowing most about this divine presence right now is that the foundation of its being is the heartbeat of life. It is that Fibonacci code, and that code is the heartbeat of life. It is love in action. And I know that in this very moment here, as I speak my word, in this vibrational energy, I'm acknowledging its healing presence. And knowing that we are all one, we're connected with this healing presence, that there is a call of remembrance unfolding. And that in this call of remembrance, every single person that is here in this space, we're all unified in this consciousness. And because of our acknowledgement of our oneness together. That includes the oneness everywhere, in everyone and everything, including those who have forgotten. And that there is a divine quorum unfolding as I speak. That quorum is God in action, healing, unifying, bringing us all together. And I'm acknowledging this wonderful power of warmth. As hearts unified, coming together all around the planet in every form and every fashion. I know it as the infinite. I'm giving thanks right now for the divine presence fulfilling itself everywhere. I know that it is the gift of life for every single child. I'm giving thanks for the blessing and just the acknowledgement of this gift of life with this new life that has come into the world within our spiritual community, within our sphere. I'm giving thanks for this divine presence at work, for those that have served youth everywhere, in every particular way. And as I'm acknowledging the youthfulness of it, I acknowledge it as that divine presence in every stage of life. So I'm bringing forth right now all of the sacredness of life, from the babies to the adolescents, the young adults, those that are maturing and growing, our elders in our community. And what I'm simply knowing is that it is all God. And if God is here, God must be everywhere. God is the energy and those things that are near and dear to our hearts. That which we desire it is of God. And I know that that God energy manifests itself. It fulfills itself in every possible way. And that what we focus on, it expands. So I'm speaking my word this morning, knowing that the beauty of spirit is here, fulfilled as perfect wholeness. I'm acknowledging the beauty of spirit in the way we serve and show up in the world. I'm acknowledging the beauty of spirit as life ever giving of itself. I know that the beauty of spirit is forgiveness. I know that the beauty of spirit is love in action and sacred acknowledgement. And so I'm acknowledging this presence right now. I know that it fulfills itself within the Hart family. It's fully orbed within the Swarovskis, the Stringfellows. I'm acknowledging that divine presence within the Bridges, the Males. I acknowledge it right now within the Guzmans. I'm acknowledging it within the Lesters. I bring and allow that wonderful presence within the Longs. I acknowledge it within the Thompsons. I'm acknowledging it as that divine presence right now within the Merricks, the Gwynns. God is everywhere, present in all things and all beings. And I'm acknowledging this divine presence mirroring and reflecting itself in the world. It's in practitioner Sandy and her entire family. I'm acknowledging this divine presence right now within all of our affairs. I acknowledge this divine presence as life-giving of itself. The beauty of spirit is right in the Williams. I acknowledge this divine presence within the Hobbies, yes, in the Hobbies, the Rowans, the Bagbys. It's spirit overflowing. And I know that if it is showing up here, it is reflecting in the world. And so in this very moment, I know that there is a mighty blessing. And that blessing is spirit in action. I know that it is in our neighborhoods. I'm acknowledging it within our cities, the counties, within all of the communities everywhere. I'm acknowledging this presence within our states and our provinces. I acknowledge it within our country. I'm acknowledging it within leaders everywhere, from every possible walk of life. I know that the presence of the divine is there. And it is the presence of the divine that I look to, I acknowledge, and I know that the divine is God in action. It is goodness unfolding, and that goodness is not selfish, but that goodness is generous, filled with light and filled with love, creating space for goodness to spread all over the land, all throughout the universe as sacred blessing. I'm acknowledging this presence right now within the Redmonds. I acknowledge God and know that God is truly all there is, that God fulfills itself, enriches itself, it blesses itself. And I'm giving thanks for our sacred awareness, our sacred knowingness. And in this space of perfect love, right here, right now, we began to release. We began to just allow for this source of the infinite that we call the Lordly Presence, universal law, to simply say yes, to do its work, to fulfill itself with our right use, our right awareness, our impeccable nature. And as we gratefully release with a joyful expectancy, I invite us all to affirm together, unmute yourselves right now, and just simply join me by saying these sacred and holy words. And so it is.
And so
And
it
so it
is.
is.
And now it is.
And now it
Now
is.
it is.
Amen.
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 Ashe.
Ashe.
Aho.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh.
Just breathe.
and so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
I just want to thank you all for being here today. I want to thank you for being a sacred and a holy blessing. And as I look into your eyes, I want you to know that I look into the eyes of love. I'm inviting you this week to be the eyes of love, to be the Amos wherever you're at, whatever you're called to participate in. I'm inviting you to rise up, and I'm inviting you to see past. I want you to hear this. See past those times of separation. It is for this moment you have been called, and your calling is to be a beneficial presence, a light of love. Allow it to guide you. And now we are one. And now we are one. I'm going to turn this over to Amber and Reverend Larry because there's some announcements you need to hear about. Take it away.
It's coffee and tea time. Hi, everyone. My name is Reverend Larry Hobby, practitioner emeritus. I'm wishing you all a happy Super Bowl Sunday and a joyful winter Olympic season. There are so many wonderful things happening all around the world, and I'm deeply grateful that we've kicked this week off by celebrating the presence of God everywhere. I hope you've been enjoying the daily prayer offerings. that our practitioner and ecclesiastical team is lovingly prepared in honor of a season for nonviolence, and that includes today's prayer on faith, offered by practitioner Sandy. Faith takes us a long way, and I truly hope that prayer has blessed you. You'll be able to listen to it again later today on our YouTube channel. And please remember to like and share on all of our social media pages. Your engagement supports this ministry and helps us continue touching lives everywhere. Now let's see what's happening in our spiritual community. If you enjoyed the Sound Healing Meditation with Jim Thompson, our practitioner emeritus, we invite you to join him every Thursday at 12 noon Pacific Time. You can access this amazing practice through the Seed FM link tree. Here at Seed FM, we truly value spiritual practice, and we offer opportunities to engage in practice every single day. Be sure to check our link tree to stay connected with all of our daily offerings and what's happening in the community. I also invite you to join me on Wednesdays for my Expanding Consciousness book webinar. Each week, we explore spiritual ideas together, and I always offer practical tools you can use in your everyday life. And following our 6:30 p.m. gathering, I invite you to stay with us and join Reverend Jerry for her Power 8 Prosperity Prayer Group, a beautiful way to anchor yourself and gently close out the evening in prayer. There is so much available to support your growth and expansion, so remember to visit our link tree for all the wonderful offerings and opportunities to connect. As many of you know, this is a very special year for us at Seed FM. It is our 10th anniversary year. From the very beginning, visioning has been the foundation of this ministry. It's how this work was born, and it's how it has continued to grow. And we are deeply grateful for where this vision has taken us, for the process of visioning itself, and for the many openings of highest good that have unfolded in this community. And that includes our Sunday Power Talks, our prayer work, and the many ways people around the world are being touched and transformed. As we honor 10 years of service, we're also opening ourselves to the highest and greatest vision for this celebration and for what comes beyond it. We invite you to join us on our 5th Saturdays for Community Visioning, a sacred time where we come together to listen, align, and co-create. Our next community visioning gathering will be on Saturday, May 30th. We invite you to mark your calendar and plan to spend about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes with us in this powerful process. Thank you in advance for contributing your presence, your prayer, and your intention to the ongoing legacy of this ministry. As we move into March, we are joyfully celebrating International Women's Month, and we'll be honoring it all month long here at Seed FM. Throughout March, you'll experience special presentations highlighting the outstanding work of women within our spiritual community. This includes powerful offerings such as Embracing Black with Dr. Liza, along with other inspiring expressions of wisdom, leadership, and sacred service. We also invite you to save the date, Sunday, March 29th, as we gather to celebrate the birthday of our beloved elder, Patty Walton. That celebration will include a Taizé service, and we will also present the Patty A. Walton Walk in Truth and Freedom Humanitarian Award. If you know a woman whose life and work reflect truth, freedom, and service, we invite you to submit a nomination. Our nominating team is accepting nominations throughout March 1st, and the recipient will be announced and honored at Patty Walton's birthday celebration on March 29th. March 29th will also mark the launch of our Seed FM Tech Fund fundraiser in partnership with Double Good. Our goal this year is to update and expand our Prayer for Heart app, including a new logo and enhanced technology, making it easier for people to submit prayer requests and connect with our practitioner prayer team. You'll be able to support Patty on her birthday by purchasing popcorn through Double Good or by making a donation in her honor. We thank you in advance for your generosity, your support, and for helping us continue this sacred work together. Please watch for more information. Before we
And
close,
now we,
how deeply
and now we-
grateful we are for your
Oh, sorry.
continued support of this ministry. With your conscious giving, we are touching people all around the world in sacred and profound ways, doing truly life-changing work. And there are several ways to give. You can visit us at seedfm.org. Amber is placing the information in the chat right now and on our social media platforms. You can also Zelle your contributions to us at 909-641-1066. And now we invite you to join us in our prosperity mantra for 2026. I visualize the financial good I expect. I see it coming to me now, richly and abundantly. I claim and accept it for myself now. I am grateful, and so it is. Amen, amen, ashe. And let's do it again. I visualize the financial good I expect. I see it coming to me now, richly and abundantly. I claim and accept it for myself now. I am grateful, and so it is. Amen, amen, ashe. And let's do it one more time. I visualize the financial good I expect. I see it coming to me now, richly and abundantly. I claim and accept it for myself now. I am grateful, and so it is. Amen, amen, ashe. Thank you for joining us for Coffee and Tea Time. Remember, each of you is a very important piece of the puzzle. And as we move through this year together, with peace as our focus, may your days be filled with peace, purpose, and abundant blessing. We'll see you soon. And now we have a few additional announcements to share with you. First, we have an update from Keto Bridges regarding our beloved elder, Patty Walson, which I call my big little sister, and her upcoming birthday celebration. Keto, if you would take a moment and share with us, please.
Well, good morning, everyone. And Larry, I'm going to tell you, you pretty much said it all in terms of the awards, but I did want to let you all know and invite you all to join our team. We will be having another meeting this Tuesday at 3 p.m. I will be sending out reminders so that everyone can save the date. Moving forward, we may change the date just so that way we'll be able to accommodate more people. But again, I want to invite you all to please join our team so that we can make this a wonderful event and honoring those women who do sacred service in a world so much in need of healing. So everyone, I'll be sure and send you the information. That way you'll have it. And please join us. Looking forward to it, as well as the visioning that will start with Susie Ammons this Tuesday at 3 p.m. Thank you. Oh, one last reminder. Please fill out your form for your nominee. These forms have to be in no later than March the 1st. So we still have a couple of weeks, but get it in as soon as possible. Thank you all and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Keto, for sharing that with us. I have two more announcements, folks. Next Saturday, we invite you to join us for a second Saturday pre-up. Practitioner Sandy will be facilitating a powerful 30-minute pre-up prayer clinic. With everything that's happening all around us, prayer is a stabilizing presence. It anchors us and supports us as we move through our day. So please join her at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. And be sure to check your time zone. This pre-up prayer clinic takes place on Valentine's Day and is truly an event you won't want to miss. And finally, I'm going to read an invitation from Reverend Jerry Amber. As I read this invitation, please place the image of our youth on the screen.
I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for that. I'll go get it now. Thank you for your patience.
Okay.
What I want to say is I know that I've already, I'm filling out my form right now for the person I'm going to nominate, but I'm encouraging everyone to get in as many applications as possible so that we can make some wise decisions.
Okay. So anyway, as we're waiting for that to come on the screen. Okay. So you are invited to the 2026 Celebrating Our Soul Virtual Youth Summit held in honor of Black History Month. Join us for a meaningful and immersive virtual youth summit honoring the voices, wisdom, and brilliance of our youth. This gathering is designed as a sacred immersion, inviting participants to listen deeply, reflect, and be inspired. And through youth reflections, musical enrichment, and shared spiritual practice, we come together to uplift the next generation and affirm their lived experiences, identity, and truth. This summit will take place on Saturday, February 21st, 2026. That's at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 11 a.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Central, and 1 p.m. Eastern. The theme for this year's summit is Why My Life Matters. To know my history is to know myself. We hope you'll join us for this powerful and inspiring gathering. Thank you. Reverend Jerry.
Okay, thank you, Reverend Larry. That is such a wonderful. I'm excited about this, and I get the honor and the opportunity to mentor these beautiful expressions of light. And I'm inviting you to come and to celebrate with me as we honor these wonderful expressions of light. Before we leave, I want to, someone asked me a question yesterday and they said, how close are we to getting the iPad? So I have an announcement this week. One of the things we did was we are working on dollar matching. We have the funds to be matched by the Hefferland Foundation. And we did a happy dance on Friday. We finally got everything off in the mail for this grant that we applied for. And I'm going to say that the iPad is very, 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 very close. And you see the energy and the enthusiasm that I'm bringing to this. And I want to thank everyone that has supported us. Every gift is valued and we so appreciate it. This is part of how we get prepared to move to the next level. So thank you so much. I'm going to turn this over to Amber now for our final song and take it away. I'm just going to continue to smile and radiate love out into the world. And there we go. See what happens when we do those things with that energy.
Let peace begin with you and I. Every man, boy, and girl, woman across the world. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth. The peace that was meant to be with God as our Father, family all are we. Let us focus our families in perfect harmony. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth. The peace that was meant to be. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every single breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me. Peace on earth, peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. Let there be peace on earth, peace on How you feeling it this morning? Okay, then this is a simple hum along I want you to do with me and say, ooh, 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 la 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 la, ooh, ooh. It's just a simple melody. Feels so good to sing it. Everybody say, you sound so good. All right. Whenever dark clouds are hovering over and the sun is nowhere in sight, and when it seems like the world is falling to pieces, let me be the one who sheds the light. When this whole world seems mean and cold with no love or humanity, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Thank you.
And I'm going to say goodbye, Facebook audience. We look forward to celebrating with you next week. Have a blessed week. And remember, there is value in spiritual practice. We love you.